Well, brightest regards, wise ones, and welcome to my show. I'm Lady Leeanna, and this, of course, is Witchcraft, Wicca, Eclectic Spirituality. Lately, I've been asked a great deal about my ancestors, who they are, when do I call to them, what do I give as offering whenever I do call them, and how do I present my offerings? Well, these are all very good questions, I believe, and pretty simple ones, I guess. A little bit complicated. Well, the ancestors that I call to that are blood related, I only call to once in a while, like every other Samhain or something like that. And typically it's more recent death loved ones, like my sister Lori, my dad, maybe any of my grandmothers and grandfathers, etc. But I really don't look at them as ancestors as much as I do look at them as family, although some of them are ancestors, of course. But my ancestors that I call to in effect to get help from them and performing certain rituals or tasks that I've got to perform, I call on the ancestors of the witches. And I call on them mainly because first they called on me. And then they more or less told me that I needed to call on them whenever I needed anything. And it was a true blessing. I really felt blessed. And so I do. They've also insisted on times of the holidays, whenever I'm giving praise to the lords and ladies, they need me to call on them. And that is because they like to give praise and thanks as well. And so, all right, every holiday I do call on the ancestors so they could be at one with me in giving praise and thanks to the lords and ladies. At the time that I do call on them, and in these circular rites that I do, circle rites, I do a basket of fruit for the lords and ladies, and because my ancestors have indicated to me that they like fruits, and they like cinnamon tea, what I do is I take fruits with me into my circle. Not the basket of fruit for the lords and ladies, of course there's that, but cut up apple chunks with banana around that, and over the apple I'll sprinkle cinnamon. And they really seem to love that. That helped me to win their favor in a lot of ways. And so I feel very good about that. And I do that for them quite frequently. And not only in circle rites, I do that for my ancestors. The the ancestors of the witches. That's how I refer to them. I leave a tray of chopped bananas with sliced fruits around in the center and cinnamon sprinkled over it, and a little sulky cup of cream because they seem to really like that as well. Now, whenever I do my morning wake up cleansing, then I do cinnamon based teas or teas that have a great deal of cinnamon in them because they've indicated that they like that a lot too. And so I'll take that into morning wake up rituals with me, and I'll share a cup with them. I'll pour one for me and one for my ancestors. That's the ancestors of the witches. And we will take tea together with a nice sandalwood incense, cone incense, and a white candle. Likewise, let's see, am I leaving anything out? Whenever I go into a turmoilous time, like whenever I discovered in my meditations that someone was casting dark magic on me, I called on the ancestors for their help and they whisked in there and gave me all kinds of inspirational ideas of things that I could use within my ritual, things that they used when they were alive and performing their rituals. And a lot of it I had to go out and source outside because they told me what it was and said that it's an herb that a lot of people just look at as a typical weed and generally don't use. Like lamb's ear, they don't generally sell that in a pagan store. Anyway, and that's supposed to be really good for protection, by the way. Also for in housing the idea of love from other people likewise. But they've offered me a lot of great insight. They've given me a lot of good inspiration. They've told me different ingredients that I needed to use in my spells that I wasn't aware of. And they taught me a lot on my pathway throughout my 40 years of Wiccan witch practice, whether Wiccan or witch practice. They've taught me a great amount. And so I call on them quite frequently. And they like cinnamon tea. They like fruits. And they seem to like my fruits with cinnamon sprinkled on them. Let's see. They want me to call them whenever I give praise to the lords and ladies on holidays. They want me to call on them whenever I have urgent need for them, and have insisted. They're very insistent, trust me. And when I don't listen to them, then they can be kind of heavy-handed on me a little bit. But, I've kind of given them that reign to do so. They're very devout, old-fashioned people. And also they do not like for me to refer to them as spirits or ghosts. They don't like those terms for whatever reason. And so they've asked me for that as a request offering. Now, as a totem, oops, there I go with the hand. As a totem, they like for me to burn a purple candle for them whenever I do my ritual work at an altar. Or whenever I do other things that require very deep emotional things like that. So I do abide their requests, that's for sure. And you should too, whenever you feel the calling of your ancestors. If you feel the calling. If you choose your ancestors, then just listen deep inside, whichever way you acquire your ancestors. Listen deep inside, because they'll let you know what they like or want, and you just really got to listen to them. Anyway, hopefully this video has been of a help to you. I should do a deeper video based on the ancestors, and I will. So take care of yourself. If you want to acquire a professional reading from me, it will really help to support the channel. Contact me at mysticshadowinsights@gmail.com. You'll find the link in the description and across the bottom of the video, maybe, but you'll find it in the description of all my videos. Take care of yourself and brightest blessings. Bye-bye.